we're here to see the new features in franchise mode, which I'm going to warn a lot of people, a lot of it has to do with trading. There's a couple of logic updates in trading, in bullpen, in lineups, in a lot of different things. There's some logic changes, but most of this is going to be around the entire trading, trade hub. Things are changing for sure. I don't know if it's going to work better. I hope it works better. But yes, Streamlined seems like March to October. They brought a lot of the March to October things here as far as like custom game entries and stuff like that. I like this, but I also prefer a lot of times just jumping in a full game, seeing like the stadium, getting the graphic of you're playing this team. As a content creator, I kind of prefer that to be able to set the stage, and then I like to do my own version of this where I'll quick manage to key moments and portions of the game where guys are about to score and either try to pitch well and make it so they don't score, or hit well and score on the computer with guys in scoring position. That's kind of the way I like to do it. I always heard they work on these 3 years in advance, so essentially after 26 drops, they will start 29 while working on the 27. Well, this is kind of how they do it as RSV's video plays. This is what I learned today, okay? What I learned today, do you know something about Call of Duty? Call of Duty comes out every 3 years. And you may not know that. It seems like they come out every year. But Call of Duty, actually the studios drop a game every 3 years because they have 3 different studios working on their games. So each studio takes 3 years to put it out. Exactly, different companies. And the problem is sports games don't have that. And they come out every year. So it is a super crunch to get there. So what Clover is saying is absolutely true. They're going to be putting a portion of their team. They put a portion of their team on 3 years in advance. I'll fudge some numbers real quick, but let's just say they put 20% of their team towards 29 right after this game drops. 30% of their team would be working on 28, and the other half of their team would be working on next year's game. This way, they have a lot of people working on next year's game. If they need to emergency pull a person from the 28 or 29 team for really quick to make sure that 27 is good, they will do that. But they split their team for 3 years. And eventually 29 will get half of the team once 28 drops. But right now, they really have to start doing these things. So what you're seeing right now has been worked on since basically PS5 dropped. Like, these things have been worked on. Been a couple of times the studio hasn't been ready in 3 years, so others have had to release in 2 years or back-to-back years for COD, which is unfortunate. Yep, that happens, but their plan is sound. You know, I like their plan. It doesn't... Good plans don't always work. That's a thing. Good plans do not always work. So
play all 162 games, but
these things have been worked on for a long time, and as minimal as they may seem to some people,
for sure, and
not easy to completely overhaul your trade system, which is what he'll talk about
in franchise now that we're going to kick off, and it's the new trade system.
Yeah. All that said, you know, the biggest part of the stream that we'll discuss is the new trade system that we built from scratch.
Built from scratch.
Night and day when
Built
compared
from
to the old
scratch.
system. Easily the best system we've had in the show. You can quote me on that. Not even scared. Not even close to anything that came before. So Rangers, trades, quote me.
There you have it. Yeah, Mackenzie Gore, my Nats, and you.
Now, some inside that I was told about this particular fellow. All right, I don't know him from Adam, but you know, Mills knows him. And Mills has said that this guy is one of the most level-headed people. He does not make ridiculous claims like other game devs. He doesn't go, "This is the best thing we've ever done," like a lot of people will do. And so if he is saying that it is not even close, hands down the best system they've ever made, he trusts it. I don't know how much I trust it. I'm not a very trusting individual.
We're working deals out.
Yeah, we're
I like
celebrating.
it.
We'll see.
We won't stop there. We're also going to sit down with Tim. We're going to talk about some of
Mr. Trap! Mr. Trap! Appreciate you. Thank you for the 32 months, brother, on an 8-monther. Let's go. I might play some silly golf later.
the new
If you're
logic,
interested.
bullpen logic, some
Yep.
bullpen games, and then of course I know some people are asking, what is Streamlined franchise? We're gonna dive into that today too.
What is Streamlined franchise? It's your replacement for March to
As you were
October. We
saying,
get
we're
it.
gonna dive into all
Not
the different
interested,
logic
personally.
systems and overalls, including the whole new trade system, Clayton. But
Trade
kind
system.
of backing it up a little bit as we're going through these new overhauls and systems and how we're tackling which piece of franchise for each dev cycle. What are some of the pillars that are upholding some of these decisions?
Yeah, that's a good word. We do take it to heart. You know, we emphasize these pillars when we're trying to develop a feature. And the first one's depth. You know, we want layers. We want like real life components, as many as possible. We feel that
A
gives
sim
feature
race, eh, yeah?
replayability. So that goes into, you know, trade system, free agency, all these things. We want authenticity, realism, not only in how our fans engage with the mode, but how the CPU.
So some things that I was like,
realistic as well.
I live near it,
We wanna follow the
close
trend.
enough to it, but I don't know about it.
Free agency.
But there's a new scoreboard out there in right center field that you can't see because my camera's in the way. But move it for a sec. There you go. That scoreboard in Oriole Park, Camden Yards, that's new. That whole big jumbotron. So that's a new thing that they have for this year. Real life in the park.
We take that to heart. And Fog of War with Challenge, getting back to that, I always love Fog of War. People
So they
mock
do
me.
have new
Yeah,
things
do a little Fog of
it's
War,
awesome.
little
throughout the league
misdirection.
in the game already,
And then
which
if
is
we get,
good.
You know, depth, authenticity, and challenge right, then we get immersion,
Yes.
right? You know, we want you getting lost in our systems, enjoying the challenge, and then the last thing is accessibility. We want you to be able to enjoy our features at a higher level, but allow for a deeper dive. You know, and we know it can be overwhelming to newcomers and franchise. There's so much to do in there. But we want them to enjoy it, even if they don't.
It is overwhelming for a lot of people. That's the one thing about MLB, the show franchise, why a lot of people don't get into it. It's why Specta doesn't get into it. It's Crack's tried to get into it, and I respect that. There's a lot of people trying to get into it, but there is a lot to do.
Everyone's
A
heard us
lot
talk
to do in
about this new
MLB.
trade experience. Before we go live and make some trades ourselves, Clayton, let's dive into what this means.
Yeah, I'm gonna reiterate. You know, this trade logic is written from scratch. It's possible we were trying to like stop the old trade system ship from sinking with duct tape and band-aids, but
Now you hear that? I want to go over this again. One more time. This is huge.
You know what? Without further ado, let's talk trades.
This is huge.
Everyone's heard us talk about this new trade.
Listen to
experience.
this man.
Before we go live and make some trades ourselves, Clayton, let's dive into what this means.
yeah, I'm gonna reiterate. You know, this trade logic is written from scratch.
Scratch.
It's possible we were trying to like stop the old trade system ship from sinking with duct tape and band-aids, but
It's possible that we were trying to stop the old trade system ship from sinking with duct tape and band-aids. He admitted that that is what they were doing in the past. That is huge. That is a huge admittance of guilt. Okay? I respect it. I'm starting to really like this guy. Okay?
in order to move forward, we had to, abandon the old logic and start over.
Okay.
In order to move forward,
I know,
throw it out the window.
Pinnacle, but what can fans expect?
Yeah, I'm going to dig back into like the pillars like we talked about. So for the trade system, for the perspective of challenge, we felt like trading was too easy, which to me made it boring.
Felt like trading was too easy. I think we all know that.
It's not easy anymore.
Not easy anymore.
I think you'll love, which I like. The community wants a challenge. We knew they wanted a challenge. They want, again, the risk reward element.
In the beginning of the stream, he did say it is his most played game mode is franchised. The other dev that worked on it, it's his most played game mode. So that's big. All right, here we go. If we're gonna break things down, we're gonna break down every time they show one of these. Pablo Lopez. Now listen, there are a lot of things that go into these trades this year. So we'll talk about them. They take into account everything. The overall rating, the age, how they're currently performing, team needs, team surpluses in the prospect department, price, obviously, years under control. All of that stuff is supposed to be taken into account. Now, one thing that I don't personally love yet, and that's because I haven't heard anything about super regression, progression, overhauls, potentials going up and down like crazy. It is my belief that MLB, Major League Baseball as a whole, has probably the most realistically fluctuating potential realistically that there is in sports. In football, for the most part, if a football player is going to be great, he is going to be great right away. And he is going to be great until he's 30. And he is not going to be that great after that. For the most part, there are obviously outliers. In basketball, if you're going to be great, you never know when they're going to be great. You also don't know how long their peak is going to last. 2K has a great way of quantifying that with their peak and decline system within their drafts. Okay? They have a great way of telling you, this guy's going to peak at 24, and he's going to start declining at 27, or he's going to peak at 25, and he's going to start declining at 31 or 32 or whatever it is. MLB The Show doesn't have it down. They have this little letter grade potential system. They can go up, they can go down. Overalls go up, overalls go down. But in general, you want all the B potential guys, you want all the A potential guys. And the problem is that in real life, you have players like Bullpen who were drafted really, really high, kind of ate it up in the minors a bit, got called up, played like ass for a year or two, and are now solid ball players. And the issue in this game is there's none of that. Because if a player is going to get called up and be a solid ball player, he's just going to be really good the whole time because he's B potential or A potential, and he's going to consistently go up to that B or A potential. There is usually, even if he's hitting 190, there's no stopping him from becoming that potential in the game. And in my opinion, there's got to be way more statistics-based, performance-based, up and down rising of potentials. Because Wahiwa Aloy is a high draft pick for the Orioles, and he's got C potential. And there's a lot of that in this game. There is a ton of that. There's a ton of it in the old game. So it's obviously something that has not been super addressed here. But with that being said, you got to understand they're giving up a pretty high pick there. And Kobe Mayo, who's a very good player. And then a little throw in for Barrero, who's a solid enough prospect as well. 3 prospects for Pablo Lopez to get an arm, which we know the Orioles need arms. So, and if they're trying to compete which I'm assuming they are, as this is a June trade, it makes some sense. It makes some sense.
Satisfies your rival GMs. And the CPU often is going to try to get the better of you in trade negotiations. So you have to be on your toes.
Here's another. Now, CPU offers are going to try. Did you hear that? CPU offers are going to try to get the better of you in negotiations, supposedly. We'll talk about that again later. Bubic. He only has a 1-year contract, but he is pitching Cy Young race level pitching right now in this game. 11-3 with a 2.92. As an 28-year-old, he's about to get paid. They are shipping off their 1-year contract, Ha-Sung Kim, that they just signed, of course, but only a 1-year deal. And they're giving AJ Smith Shower, which is a top prospect for them. So a top prospect and a solid starter right now, only on a 1-year deal they get for Bubic. Obviously, the prize is AJSS in this.
And pay attention to what's going on around the league.
In addition to creating all these new challenges for our fans to experience, let's also touch a little bit on the realism pillar. Yeah. Some offers and systems are kind of returning back into this trade logic.
Yeah. So we brought back pending offers, and with pending offers comes counter offers.
Now that's huge. They brought back pending offers, so trades are not always going to be accepted right away. Trades will not be accepted instantly, which is huge. You'll have to wait a couple of days. You got to kind of plan out your trade deadline area. Used to be, everybody's watched me do it, I go right to July 31st. It's the trade deadline. I look at my standings. I look at players performing well. I give them up if I'm a seller, or I go get some guys as a buyer, right? You can't just go to the 31st anymore. You got to kind of plan out what's going on the entire month of July. So I do like that. That makes you a little more immersed. You also kind of need to watch for, all right, we're going to trade this guy because there's a chance he might get injured, blah, 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 which was always there, but still. Even more I dislike when I have a random guy break out as like a 72 overall and then he doesn't go up in potential, so he regresses. Yeah, I don't like that either. Like, for instance, in our A's franchise that we are going to do a little of after this, in our A's franchise, we've got a man who is a 75 overall C potential. And he hit 29 bombs and hit 290. I'm sorry, but that's pretty solid. If he has another year like that, and he's not a B, we got issues.
Wanted that back and forth in trade negotiations, which is real.
Oh, and that's the other thing he said. There will be counter offers as well. Now, this here, everybody's talking about trades all over Twitter right now. I gotta be honest. I understand that they're getting Walcott back, but this has to be the trade I have the biggest issue with. This right here. The Rangers are getting 3 major league level players there. Maybe even 4. I don't know Colby Allard well enough to know, but they're getting freaking J-Ram. They're getting J-Ram. Now, granted, he's 33 years old. But I think one of the biggest issues this game has and has had is that players in baseball, they don't die at 30. That doesn't happen. Baseball is not a extremely physically demanding sport. In fact, it is the least physically demanding sport of the 4 pro major sports. Like, 33 doesn't mean dead. 33 doesn't mean salary dump him. 33 doesn't mean, oh my God, we got to get younger. Now, it doesn't show the standings, but I really hope that the Guardians are like dead last or something. The only way that you could ever justify J-Ram being traded away is if the Guardians were dead last in the Central, which is a bad division, and I doubt they are with the White Sox being there. But if they were dead last in the Central, and it is just time to restart, because the Guardians are pretty cheap, okay? The problem is, like Sports Trap alluded to here, 7 years you have the man for. I can see it in another 3. I don't see it right now. At 36 years old, sure. Like, this guy can play third base until he's 38 years old. At a pretty damn good level. At a mid-80s level at least. Nolan Arenado's doing it. So I don't see this trade happening now. Kumar Rocker is not a huge piece. He's 25, 26 years old. Sure, he's a B. But the prize is Walcott. And I just don't agree with that trade at all.
There's a new dynamic trade block logic, which is appropriate for the different.
This one, I am told that the Marlins in this were doing well, and we're making a push for Eugenio here. Arquette does give you 61 overall, 22-year-old B, solid prospect, and a C. I have no problem with that.
Organizational strategies. If we talk trade packages, you know, buyers want MLB ready talent. They want win now. Sellers want prospects. They want
again, Marlins buying. They're getting Nathaniel Lowe, Emilio Pagan, and Garrett Hampson. 3 players that can help them out right now. And they're only giving up 2 C potentials. But if you notice, this particular C potential, Jacob Miller, is already a 67 overall. So he's of more value.
It's wise to be realistic about your team's outlook, you know, when you're trying to fill your trade block. You know, if you're a struggling team.
You too, Troy. You have a good night, brother. I love you, man. I'm interested in the dynamic of buyers and sellers too. I want to know just how much it's going to affect. Obviously, we're going to be screwing around with the game right out the box, so get ready for that. That'll be here. Only position hard on the body is catcher, yeah, and then they just transition to DH or first. That's true.
Yeah.
This is a massive haul. This is a haul, dude. I need to go through and see this because it's just a haul. Okay.
And it's wise to be realistic about your team's outlook, you know, when you're trying to fill your trade.
All right, so an 84-35B, a 78-36A, an 80-31B, and a 73B.
To what you're trying to do from a trade.
Bulbous! Got him! It's Mug Dog! Love this new Bopus. We're gonna continue to shell this fucking guy. I ain't gonna lie, that kills me. Because we're just that fucking good. Love that picture. All right. But anyways, this is a huge haul. Now, Ryan Sloan is a huge player coming up in the Mariners system. Lazaro Montez is another really good player. All right. I don't want to go here yet. There's a lot to talk about there. I don't want to go there yet. I want to go back to the trade. But yeah, 2 top 100 prospects and a couple of throw-ins, getting 4 legit major league talents to make a run at a World Series. I mean, I wish the Mariners would do something like that in real life, but I don't think they will do that. I don't think they're going to do that. It is a haul on both sides. There's a trade that works out for both teams. 1 buyer, 1 seller. They both win. That's how it should be. To be completely honest with you, it's how it should be.
luck. You know, if you're a struggling team, you don't want to behave like.
They get Gosman and Springer for a year. They get Santander for 5 and Lauer for 2.
Trade perspective.
So
there's new feedback system.
this looks awesome. I really love that. I love this screen. It is very brief, but I love this screen. It just looks so freaking clean, bro. This looks so clean. All right, why are we fucking up?
It may be counterintuitive to what you're trying to do from a trade perspective.
Ryan Sloan, you get all this stuff. Hey, go back. Go back. I gotta stop it right on that in order to look at it. Right there. So you get this card. So his stuff is all right there, 54. You get a rating for it. So you get all the individual ratings that make up this one rating that they're giving you. Just a stuff rating. Now, this is another thing that was picked up, okay? Ryan Sloan has not played in the majors. This was one thing that I picked up in the Mills stream. Okay, in the Mills stream, I was talking about how quirks were not given to minor league players last year. There are quirks here for minor league players. I don't think they talk about that much. They probably should. They probably should. This is actually really cool. You get the organization prospect number and you get what number he is in the top 100. I really like this a lot.
You know, the bar telling you
I like this whole hub.
That's gone. Opposing GMs will straight up tell you players that they are interested in, and they'll let you know if a trade is offensive or if it's in the ballpark. Positional needs will guide you so far as like org strategies for opposing teams, and rumors will sometimes let you know if a rival is about to steal someone on your trade targets or steal someone that's in a pending offer.
That's huge.
And rival GMs will even mock you if you significantly overpay, though.
Now, that's a cool little touch. I think somebody like Crack would really love that. Rival GMs making fun of you.
Make fun of you.
I kind of love that.
Yeah, our fans can expect a new level of realism with this new trade hub.
As Carson was alluding to, we're going to have a new look at the trade hub and all the multi-dimensions around it. So can you walk us through what our fans can expect?
Yeah, and this all falls under the depth, right? So there's a new trade hub, a one-stop shop for everything trade-related. It is
also, this goes into your thing, RSV, about them getting rid of March to October right here. This little screen right here. Hold on.
Yeah, and this all falls under the depth.
Right there. So at the top, you have the wins meter. They took that from March to October. Currently, 48 wins. Projected to win the division, 97 is needed. They stole it. Well, they stole it from themselves, but they took it from March to October. And so now you have it here, which I guess is a cool little touch.
Trade hub, a one-stop shop for everything trade-related. It is not the March-October trade hub. It's that.
Now this looks really cool. Okay, I would like this as long as it's not too redundant and the same every season. This would be really, really fun. Buyer's market. Trade prices may be discounted as a large number of teams are looking to sell. So that means there's a lot of bad teams and they're trying to get rid of their players. So prices are going to be cheaper. So if you're a buyer, you can win. Bidding wars could lead to high prices for right fielders. So everybody looking at right fielder. Starting pitcher abundance could lead to some trade bargains. So in some of those other trades, starting pitchers could go for a little cheaper than they normally would, which is cool.
Times 1,000, so it's exciting. We have expanded trade slots, 4 aside now. You can have up to 8 players in a trade.
4 trade slots is pretty, I mean, it's something, right? It's not perfect, but it's something. Marlins put Braxton Garrett on the block. I like this This one right here. Here you go. Orioles and Marlins seem to be considering a deal involving Samuel Basallo and Sandy Alcantara.
Expanded organizational strategies. Big
Lets
buyers,
you know.
Small buyers, big sellers, small sellers.
That'll be fun to go through.
Kind of stand pats, and it kind of depends on farm rankings that are now incorporated in the trades. So the farm rankings will affect your organizational strategies. We have positional market sentiments. We have overall market sentiments, a buyer's market, or maybe it's a buyer's market at shortstop. And sometimes you can time it. If you want a shortstop, it's a buyer's market, and it's a positional buyer's market at shortstop. You can get a great deal if you time it.
There you go. You can get some deals.
Market sizes.
Deals could be huge.
Trade values depending on market sentiment and organizational strategies. And then
it's just more immersion and more strategy of like, okay, if I'm looking for this player at this time, it's not a good time. It's kind of like being in the housing market.
Soto is not going to be coming.
Here we go. Brandon Lau, a 1-year deal, and Marcell Ozuna. See, you're getting a lot more of, if you want certain players, you're going to have to give up a lot more to get them. I don't know if that particularly makes trading harder or better, but it does make it different. I'll say that.
To you, unless maybe it's his walk year or walk year +1.
2 rentals.
This is just going to make it feel more real than ever before, like you said. Like,
here's another one. Gallen
walk years with these small market teams
and Carlos Santana.
Like buyer and sellers markets between positions. You're gonna have to really put on your GM hat to execute some of these trades.
100% timing.
Now the issue is this: it's going to be the difference between a computer sending you an offer, which at that point is them telling you that they would accept a trade, right? That they're offering you. And between you trying to get something from them in which they would give you a counter offer or flat out say no.
Crucial, this is all depth, right? The more depth we want, the realism, we want the depth, we want all these pieces in. We have untouchables, we have trade targets. You're basically telling other GMs that you're interested in this player, and then depending on their situations, you make it an offer from them. Like, it's like passively pursuing these players.
Yeah.
We have new rumor logic with, of course, Fog of War.
Fog of War.
Positions. We're excited about this because secondary positions are factored into trades now. So the CPU won't only be targeting, say they need a second baseman. They're not only going to be targeting primary second baseman. They can target players that play second base as a secondary position.
Now that's huge too. I would like to see, honestly, expansion upon this in the future. They are currently having teams also look for players who play the secondary position of what they're actually looking for. So if they want, like you said, a second baseman, they could look for a shortstop who also plays second base, or a third baseman who also plays second base. But what I would like to see in expansion to that eventually is teams changing players' positions, because it happens all the time in baseball. Okay, the Yankees literally signed A-Rod and made him a third baseman. So I would like to see them actually just flat out change it and his secondary position change to the original position that he played. I would like to see flop, because it happens all the time in baseball.
Right. Updated trade frequency that ramps up the closer you get to the trade deadline. And then positional needs is again there. This drives offers, and it's incorporated into trade evaluations.
What I'm kind of hearing through this laundry list of details that we experience in real life with Major League Baseball, with the trade deadline, is now going to be incorporated into franchise at a level we have not seen before, something I know our fans have wanted, and I can just see all the tweets of them wanting to get their hands on this game as soon as possible.
I like how you say that, because it's so important for us to get as much depth in as possible, because that's what makes it interesting for us as people who love franchise. We get all these pieces in the depth, the challenge, the realism, and it all leads to immersion, right? And the back and forth nature of the pending trades and the counter offers.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to give you cash considerations, Radio. I don't think that's happening.
And it leads to stressful moments, the rumors, the misdirection. It's fun, and it will suck you in. Like, this is the most fun I've had playing franchise in a long time, with all the
that's huge
in place, free agency, trading, scouting and drafting, all these things, and custom game entry.
Yeah, I'm excited to get my hands on it. We're going to be doing some trades live after this pre-record. But for now, I think it's time to go over to Tim and talk lineup logic.
They're going to be doing some
heavy pinch hitter
some live here.
Tim, welcome back to the feature premiere. Remind our fans, what do you do here?
Hey, I'm a game designer here on the show, and I've been here for about 4 or 5 years, and I'm coming in from cold and snowy upstate New York.
Well, it's rainy here in San Diego, and I hear when it rains, it pours, and we're going to be adding on to all the trade logic we were talking about with Clayton. Walk us through some of the lineup logic.
Lineup logic now.
This year.
We are so excited to talk about lineup logic because this is something that we have had on our radar for quite some time. Lineups, like Clayton mentioned before, are part of our pillars, and we wanted to hit the realism part. So we did a lot of research, and in that research, there was a lot of new trends in baseball that we haven't replicated correctly. We wanted to fix that.
Admitting that they haven't replicated things correctly is a huge step forward. Admitting their wrongdoing is big. Madden doesn't always seem to do that.
Your best hitters hitting in the 2 or 3 hole, and that on-base percentage guy will be in the 1 spot. It doesn't matter anymore the position. We're not looking for the slap hitters, the speed guys. Now you'll see the Otanis, the Schwarbers, those guys hitting that leadoff spot. Kind of excited.
Yeah, I'm hearing, more modern takes in the game are going into franchise.
There you go.
Super exciting.
I like having speedy slap hitters as my leadoff, but whatever. Off topic, but re-downloading Fortnite, hey yo!
I know it doesn't stop there. We talk about depth. We talk about immersion. Tim, let's talk more about this.
So when you talk about depth, one of the things for us is always to have that risk-reward factor in there, and also to have some immersion. For our depth, performance matters this year. So attributes are part of the package with the lineups, but performance in game and in previous seasons also come into play. If you had a player last year playing real MLB and their stats didn't really reflect their performance, the artificial GM may decide they're going to put them in a different spot in the order. As the season progresses, that dynamic attributes and performance will end up changing their performance on the field, moving their spot in the lineup. They can.
So if guys get better,
just like
guys aren't hitting as well, they'll start moving down. If they start hitting better, they go up.
I'm excited for the
I like that.
which is the bullpen rotation logic and the addition
This
of
is
bullpen
huge.
games, Tim. Talk us through it.
This is one of the bigger
So the
things.
last couple World Series, we've seen the bullpen games been a major part of the way the modern use of the bullpen is used. We have the openers that will start the game. They'll pitch an inning or two, and then somebody else will come in to finish off the game. Multiple innings will be pitched, and we wanted to reflect that in our game. So to do that, we have not only the user can utilize this, but the CPU will as well. And there's a few triggers that'll happen that'll cause it, just like real baseball. Short-term injuries can impact it. So if you had a starter that's missing a starter or two, you may see a bullpen game that'll occur. A lack of quality in the rotation. So if you don't have a starter that can handle
There you go, bullpen game.
5 to 6 innings in the major league game anymore, you may see now a bullpen game occur. And if your starting pitcher, for whatever reason, has a long outing and their energy and stamina is down, you may see a bullpen game occur. So one of the things that we had talked about that we wanted to move forward with, anything that the user can do, we want the CPU to do. And you'll see that in our new game this year with bullpen games.
And that leads even more to the realism, the immersion of the franchise experience. But let's touch a little bit on depth. You were already going down that path, whether it's performance, whether it's starting pitcher energy. What kind of depth are our fans looking at to then trigger these bullpen games, or when these bullpen games are occurring?
So like I said, bullpen games are going to occur naturally. It's going to be a part of the game where you'll see, and the user can do this at any time. The user can, if they wanted to have a bullpen game in the 4 spot, the 5 spot, they can set up the bullpen game themselves at any time. The CPU will use it whenever it makes sense for them, based on pitcher energy, a lack of depth, or maybe it's just that that's the best option they have. And you'll see that, and the logic is working great. We're seeing
The best option they have. I hope not.
And this realism leads to more.
I don't really use this a ton.
Looking for, and The CPU will even choose the opener based on the qualities that
I'm the type of
no
person who
GM or
likes to
manager
carry
look for in
6
an opener.
starters into a season,
Yeah,
as you've seen me do plenty of times, but
overhaul, lineup logic, bullpen logic, we're just seeing the modern game now being accurately reflected in MLB The Show.
it does work for that, yeah. The
That's our
CPU,
whole
I'm sure,
idea.
will use it a
Everything we're looking to
ton.
do is to try to reflect the game of baseball, make it realistic, make it fun, make it challenging.
Thank you, Tim, so much for joining us, talking through lineup and bullpen logic. Is there anything else you want the fans to know?
The only thing that I'm looking forward to showing everyone in the live stream is how lineups, bullpens, rotations are performance-based this year, and you will see that, and they will evolve naturally through the progression through the season. Performance is going to matter here, so players can move up down the lineup. They can even move in different spots in the rotation or in the bullpen.
Huge.
Yeah, we will see it when we go live. Thanks again, Tim.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you once again, Tim, for joining us. I hope you're staying warm in upstate New York. But as we get ready of playing the game, anything else you'd like to say, Clayton?
Yeah, we'll save it for the live portion, but one of the big accessibility additions is Streamlined franchise. We'll touch on that then, and then we'll get into some more fan requests, stuff that we've implemented as well, but we'll touch on that when we go live.
As well as our producer, Travis.
All right, here we go. Real live stuff.
Wishes he could be here. He's stuck in snow.
Here we go. This is what I really want.
Yeah.
That's what I do, yeah. Carry 6. Have one of them as a long reliever all season long, and I spot start them when I need them in there. When I need them in there, I throw them in the rotation.
All right, so before we dive too deep into the whole new trade system, I wanted to kind of set up a couple trades that typically will garner some counter offers because bringing back Penny.
All right, so he set up these trades that he is expecting counter offers on.
For us, it adds a level of excitement, level of strategy and realism. So if we look at, we'll dig into the trade hub a bit more later, but right now you can get
there they are.
Market sentiment, sellers market. Bidding wars for right field and second base, but as my beloved Rangers, I set up a couple of trades here. One, trying to look for a prospect shortstop.
So he's trying to get Jet Williams, a B potential, for a couple of C potential major leaguers. Probably not going to work, but he expects it to not work.
Williams, I maybe lowballed them a little bit with Berger and Peterson, and then
here, a C potential and a B potential, low-level MLB players for a really, really good closer and with really good potential.
Looking for a closer, right? So was targeting Rodriguez, who was on the trade block, and again, slight probably underpay. Typically,
Yeah.
These kind of trades will garner a counteroffer because they're not going to accept these.
Right, and I think this is important for any of our fans to know. These are pending offers now, right? Like, we're not getting the instant gratification of a trade that you guys might be familiar with. So there is that cat and mouse game. You're sending it across the fence. You're waiting to see.
There's Rodriguez. Now, an 80 overall 26-year-old A potential in AAA is interesting, but
has been placed on the block. So he's someone that I'm looking to acquire, but I don't want to pay more than I have to, right? So set up a couple trades here. We should be able to go into the calendar and then sim, and let's see if we get some counter offers.
All right, so he's going to see if he's getting some counter offers.
Kind of lowballing a little bit. So what are you kind of expecting to happen once you hear back from your trade partner?
Well, I think they're going to let me know how they feel about the offer, whether the value's there or not, whether any of these players are really meeting their needs, whether it's positional needs, or if they're selling, they probably want young MLB.
And I do like how the statements come back from the teams when you offer. Kind of like old Madden used to do, where it's like, this isn't good enough.
There we go. Perfect. All right, so we're going to sim ahead a few days, and hopefully we see some counter offers and we get some of that back and forth nature. Okay, one day.
There you go.
Okay.
So they did not like the 2 C potential low-level players for Randy Rodriguez, but they are interested in Brandon Nimmo, who is a way better player than anything he was offering.
Okay, so the Giants, if we went back in and we looked at the trade block for the Giants, a position need for them was right field, among other things. They didn't like my Jake Berger piece of that trade, I believe, is who it was. So they came back, and they're literally you know, they're telling us, you can see here the fit wasn't quite right, but Brandon
Yep,
Nimmo
did
is
not
someone
like that
they're
trade.
interested in, right? So they're straight up telling you a player they're interested in. So again, a very obvious hint, but it's something, you know, you can work around. If you don't like this offer, you can maybe focus a different package on Nimmo, right? So we've got that counter offer there. We'll see if we get another one.
It's cool that they're giving you a little sneak peek into what they're thinking, right, as the CPU.
And then here's another. He wanted Jet Williams. They said, no, we're going to take Josh Jung. Josh Jung and Jock Peterson, please.
Sooner than later. You know, some teams take longer to get back. Same thing here. Oh, they're after Jung. So Milwaukee, if we go back to the trade block again, which we can do in a minute, you'll see that they're looking for a third baseman, right? Mm-hmm. And Josh Jung was on my trade block, and so they came back and countered it with a trade that met their needs and that they deem is fair. Although the CPU, more often than not, will try and game you a little bit and get a little extra value out of it.
Game or be gamed, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we'll jump in back in the trade up.
CPU is trying to game you. Hold on, I want to go back to that. Hold up.
And get a little extra value out of it.
Let me see, because now what it'll do when you go into the hub is you get what the current offers are. There you go. So now you get to see what the current offers are. So Josh Jung, 77B, Jock Peterson, 66C for Jet Williams. And then over here they want Nimmo, who's a ball player. And the 71C center fielder, which I don't think he had in there. I think he had Berger in this side. They didn't like that. They took Josh Jung. And I think he had two different players here. So
trade up. If we go in here, MLB trade block.
And now if you notice that, you can accept it from right there.
So we'll jump in the back.
So you can go and accept that trade or accept that trade, or you can keep countering and keep negotiating with them.
MLB trade blocks. Where are the Giants? Up there.
There you go.
So the Giants were looking for left fielder actually, but Nimmo, and this is another piece of it, right? Typically in the past.
So there you go. The Giants are seeking out starter, second base, left field. Nimmo can play left, plays right.
Trade logic, they'd only be looking at primary positions, but Nimmo has secondary left field, so they know that Nimmo can fit their need in left field, so that's why they added him to the package. It's going to improve enough their left field position that
very good.
That they're after.
I'm glad you mentioned that. That was one of the bigger points of
that was one of the best examples of it working to me.
Fans are kind of latching to. It's not just the primary positions, whether it's us, whether it's the CPU.
I like.
Secondary positions matter just as much.
I don't know if it's just me.
Enough their left field position.
But I really like when they go around the wheel and the secondary logo pops up.
Of our fielding feedback that came out earlier this morning that fans are kind of latching to.
Watch this. See the secondary logo?
Positions, whether it's us.
Secondary logo. It's kind of fire.
Exactly, and that was important for us. Yeah. You know, we felt the old trade logic was limited to primary positions. We didn't want that to be. Same thing when we get into lineup logic. We've really honed in on secondary positions to fill needs in the lineup as well,
because that's what we see in the real MLB, right?
Exactly.
So we're trying to make it feel as real as possible.
Yeah, and as I mentioned before, the Brewers, you know, they're seeking first base, third base, center field. So obviously Josh Jung was someone that improves third base enough that they were happy giving a counter offer for that.
Yeah, very cool.
So Colin, I'm going to set something up here.
Go back to the main cam.
Yeah, go back to the main cam. Perfect.
As Clayton's kind of setting everything up, Travis, what is something that you're most looking forward to about franchise this year?
Oh, I'm just so excited for our team that, you know, with such a small dev cycle, it's kind of tough to get everything in that we wanted to. But I feel like the trades are more true to life, and that's what we really want. You know, we want the reactive trades, and we want it to be fun, and we want it to be realistic. That's what we're striving for.
Right.
Now what I want to do is
all right, let's see. I want to see more in game.
We're on 30 team control.
All right.
Everything's on automatic. We just want to look at trades that come up. And
32 control automatic. He's putting it on.
And see what happens. We ready to roll?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So I'm going to sim through March. Typically April and May, just like in real life, will be quieter months for trades. But we'll see if we get one in April.
32 control. Here we go. There's a trade.
Okay.
24-year-old 65 first baseman under team control for a long time. For AJ Puck.
Okay. All right. So the D.
He's raking in AAA too.
Trading away a reliever, potentially selling already. AJ Puck, 78 overall. All right. Cubs are already buyers.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like
And
that as a
obviously-
White Sox fan. Let's take this back a little bit.
And so the D-backs, again, you're looking for, a young piece to build around 24 years old.
Diamondbacks number 9 prospect, not in the top 100.
Some,
All right.
some of our D-backs fans are bummed. Sorry, guys.
They're selling already. Maybe a small seller early in the season. All right, so 1 in April.
Here's another.
Another one.
Tyler Stevenson for Jacob Miller.
Marlins look like small buyers.
It's a 1-year rental
286, 4 homers. start
for a
the year.
prospect.
And again, another young starting pitcher.
Yep.
Some potential, but
In control,
6'4",
long time.
22 years old. He can grow into maybe a back of the rotation starter. We'll see.
Yeah, try to get another arm. Yeah, remember, this is the first look at franchise in MLB The Show 26
Here's
live.
another.
2 weeks away from early
Lamonte
access.
Wade,
Speaking of my White
7132.
Sox,
Uh-oh.
trading away Lamont Wade
There
Jr.
we
Okay.
I don't know if I'd be giving up the type of prospect that brings in a Tyler Stevenson for a Lamonte Wade, but
I didn't know you were a White Sox fan.
You didn't know
it's
that?
something,
It's
right?
like I'm making my
That's a
husband
trade
jealous.
for sure.
Whoa. On the up and up again.
This is news to
But
me.
again, Mills had a pretty good point when he said that sometimes people have to be allowed to lose trades. Not everything needs to be 100% fair. Sometimes in real life, people make stupid trades, and they're allowed to do stupid things. But shouldn't happen all the time. And it shouldn't happen with a player of this caliber. Now, here's another example. A 37-year-old pitcher who's still a 90. Great MLB players can stay great. Now, he's not pitching particularly great this year, and he's got 2 years left. The Marlins apparently buying early, giving up one good prospect.
Rangers
There you
already
go.
selling. Can we restart so my Rangers can be buyers? No, it's okay. DeGrom, a big
The Grom
trade.
back to the NL East.
Here you'll see. Okay, so the Marlins typically wouldn't be buyers for someone of DeGrom's stature
Right.
with his AAV, but if it's your walk year or walk year +1, some of these small market teams can take a shot at some of these expensive star players, that would typically be out of reach. So DeGrom going to the Marlins. The Marlins are.
They're going in.
So
They are
say,
going
somebody get
for it
Steven in here.
already.
This is pretty exciting.
I'll take this B prospect, 20-year-old shortstop. All right. He's got a reliever and a starter. Rangers are rebuilding already.
How do you feel about that?
It could be the White Sox.
Whoa.
Hey, shots
Damn.
Fired.
Taking a shot.
Getting up here.
Nathaniel Lowe, 7430.
Literally.
Wow, Marlins really buying a lot of trades for the Marlins. A lot of trades for the Marlins. Yeah, they do need to do better with prospect ratings and potentials.
He
Yeah.
just walked in with his Marlins hat.
A lot of Marlins action.
If only this was real life, right? Daniel Lowe improving their first base position, looking for some bats. Again, another prospect going the Reds' way. The Marlins are just unloading prospects.
Well, I wouldn't expect farm system rankings to be completely in order every time because it's the game ranking things now instead of MLB.com. They're not going to have the same way of doing it.
Be rattling off
We got to let
30
video
things.
games be video games sometimes,
More
but
trades than I would see in May, so very interesting.
it'd be nice if guys that were,
Going through May.
top 100 prospects were all
Into
B
June
potentials
now, should
at
start
least.
picking up again.
And there was a few A's.
There we go.
We got
But I
two
don't see
trades on the
any
same day.
A's.
I like this where you can kind of paginate over, which is
Aiden
kind of
Miller,
cool.
a B.
R101. All right, so what do we got here? Big prospect going to the Giants. Giants are clearly selling. I might
For
call-
Matt Chapman
take over.
and other
Chapman
things.
on the move.
We do see.
Hey.
We do see.
That's a big prospect, though.
Aiden Miller.
That's a huge prospect.
First round draft.
Number
pick.
1 Giants prospect, number 19 in the top 100.
Interesting. Chapman.
Now, there were people complaining about this trade on Twitter. I don't know. I think they got a lot for Aiden Miller. They get Chapman for 5 years. I mean,
See, now here's the case where 5 years remain, right? The Phillies are willing to take on
Right.
their
That
big
contract.
market team, tier 1, tier 2 type team. They're willing to take on that big money over 5 years.
Yeah, market size definitely.
taking big
matters.
money, getting a couple of players that can play at the major league level in the bullpen.
Building the bullpen as well. And then we have Phillies again, improving the catcher position, moving another top prospect.
We have a little arms race here in the NL East.
Yeah.
And I have to say it because our fans noticed it earlier today. 4 players, one way going. That's new to the series.
Game is also valuing Miller lower than real life. I mean, that's true.
The Phillies and Marlins.
But the game's going to value every... You have to look at this. For one, this is not the final build, as it says on the bottom. This is not the final build. It will change. Madden always tells you that every time they go through things too. It's not the final build. It'll release different, I'm sure. I don't know that it'll be better, but that's one thing to note as well. I don't see a lot of A's. There's not a lot of A's in 25 when we jump back on that. There really isn't. Most of them are drafted players.
In the wild card hunt, but the Phillies are on the
kind of running away
right now.
Yeah.
Besides, when I play franchise, I mostly care about my drafted players anyway.
Marlins have some work to do despite their trades. Let's go Marlins. I'm cheering for the Marlins.
Yeah.
Everyone loves an
They're
underdog.
buying in. I love it.
Rooting for Steven.
All right, we'll keep moving through June here. Oh my.
Oh, wow.
Oh man.
Wow.
Oh, wow. There's a lot to unpack there. I don't know about this. John Kenzie Noel getting passed around like a $2 whore, I guess. How did they get him?
This is a
Another
player
big
that
stage.
when I play, this is the guy I target. I
Yeah,
like
Big
his
Christmas.
power. I like his right field. He's got a big arm. He's got big power. This is a trade that I have made a few times while simming.
There you go.
I like the power bat. So Nimmo's on the move to Baltimore. He gets
I don't know
shut
about
down.
all this.
Nice player.
Nice backup catcher there. Martin will help out the bullpen.
Backup catcher, a bullpen arm,
Look at
Adding that.
Noel.
couple outfielders.
Look at Mayo. I know Mayo. They're waiting for him.
I
to
guess
bust
Mayo
out,
isn't
but
good enough yet.
He's a big MLB The Show
Yeah,
fan.
I think so.
He's
He
come by
is.
the studio
Does he
before.
play?
Shout out
Yeah.
Kobe.
Very cool.
Still, a couple of big prospects, though. Big
They're
ones.
like rebuilding, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Good luck, Baltimore.
I feel like the Mariners got more back in that other huge trade we were talking about than the Orioles, or than the Rangers got there. Willie Adames to the Yankees for Lombard.
Yankees and Giants.
And they're buying as the
Yeah,
Giants
snagging
continue to
Adames.
sell, something we've been monitoring.
Tim's probably in the chat.
Giants shedding that
But they got
that
Adames, so not
budget.
a bad trade. Not a bad trade.
And then there's a question in chat we kind of touched on earlier, but in case they joined in late, not every single trade is going to be automatic because we have pending offers now this
All right, here's another trade. Griffin Jacks, 84 overall for
No
Enrique
trades on that,
Bradfield.
actually. There's always going to be a period of time while
I think the thing that is concerning me the most about a lot of these trades is how many years of control
And keep
are
in
being
mind,
traded
this
away
save file
willy-nilly.
access to all 30 teams right now, and
Yeah.
we're just letting trades run through, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
normally, listen, if you were
prospects
in control,
for
you would see the
we see it all the
blockbuster
time.
trades, you would
Prospects
see
for
every
guys
trade
with
for-
2 years left or 1 year left on their contracts makes a ton of sense. But trading for these guys with 5 years remaining on their contract, I mean, whew.
every team, but we have 30-team control and everything's set to automatic.
So we're
just
seeing
looking at
literally
all
everything in the league.
trades.
Yes.
Yep, we're seeing the logic in action.
Yeah.
All right,
Enrique
Griffin
Bradfield, huge
Jacks.
MLB The Show fan.
Baltimore. All right, so we have an arms race between somehow the Marlins and Yankees, Baltimore, and Phillies right now. Is what
Okay.
I'm
Right,
seeing.
the East is heating up.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
And then I'm seeing some questions. What about the trade deadline, Clayton? What does that mean? Do you got to get those offers in before the deadline?
Well, like anything, end of day on,
Yep.
on the deadline day,
Right.
no more trades.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's the nature of it.
Oh, this one's interesting. You have Basayo in real.
I do not like this. This is one of the worst ones that I've seen, and it's all over Twitter right now. Bailey Ober, a 79, 30-year-old pitcher for a couple of years. Sure, he's cheap, and he is pitching well at a 3.92. I mean, he's not pitching great. He's pitching well enough. A solid enough starter. But Basalo, the one thing I will say is he's a very expensive prospect at $8.4 million a year.
Middle of last year, so the Twins are able to send over
I don't
one of
like
their
it.
better pitchers.
I don't
to
like
get
that.
length from Basayo right here.
This is
The Orioles gave Basayo a 8-year deal, buying out all his fucking arbitration and everything because they believe in him, not because they want to trade him right away. That should be an untouchable player for now.
Interesting.
This is very interesting.
Baltimore's really going for it.
They really are.
A lot of action. Baltimore side.
21 years old. Bailey Ober. All right, Orioles.
26 is their year.
But one thing we do need to realize is that the game is treating Basallo there, as you can tell. You can tell what the game is doing.
To kind of get that length from Basayo right here.
The game is treating Basayo as a major league backup catcher who is $8 million a year, and you can tell because he doesn't have a prospect rating at all. There's no prospect rating within the organization or the top 100. He is no longer being treated as a prospect in the video game.
21 years old.
So
Bailey Ober. All right, Orioles.
26 is their year.
that is what is helping him have less value and be traded away because he's basically an overexpensive backup catcher.
More now. We'll see. All right.
Harrison Bader, 79-31. He's $10 million. The Giants have been shedding payroll like crazy. I don't know that the Royals are buying. Okay. Marsh is not even a great player
That's pretty
at 27 years old. But
maybe it's one that fills a need for
Filling in
both teams.
positional needs.
yeah, that might be a need for need trade like they're talking about.
So we're working our way to the All-Star
Two
game
trades
here.
today.
Yandy Diaz,
Padres
80, 34 years old. He's playing well, 291.
For a young pitcher.
For a solid young pitcher. Seti Mullins, not exactly playing well,
Buyer. The season's turned around.
but he is a rental.
As we are making our way through the season with the trades, we are answering whatever questions we can live. So if you have them, put them in the YouTube chat, put them in the Twitch chat. We will try to get to them. I know Colin's always on deck, kind of answering or asking the questions when we can. So if you have them, put them in the chat, and we'll hopefully answer them as quickly as possible.
Willie Castro.
Willie Castro is a third base now. See, Willie Castro is a shortstop in 25. I would like to see positions changed willy-nilly. That would be wonderful, actually. That would be really great. Hey, what's going on, JC? I'm sure your whatchamacallit is gonna pop in there relatively shortly, I hope. We're going over the franchise live stream for MLB The Show. We're about 3/4 of the way through.
Willie Castro's one of my favorites because look at all the positions he can play.
Yeah, Willie Castro plays a lot of stuff.
Super utility.
Tons of versatility there.
Great pickup by the Brewers there. Can play anywhere.
They're picking up a rental of Willie Castro for a 67-24C. That's a prospect I could see going, yeah.
All right, we're approaching the deadline.
Well, they overhauled the trades. That's really the biggest thing that they did. Of course, they updated the game to be more current. Lineup logic, bullpen logic, and we're kind of going over right now. What he has done is he put it on 30-team control and everything on automatic just so we could see what the computer is going to do with himself, because to be completely honest with you, if the computer cannot use its trade logic against itself, how is it going to use it against a human, right? So they're simulating how this trade logic is working, and to be quite honest with you, it looks better.
X-Nat.
Right?
I don't know that it is at its best yet.
I do expect at the trade deadline both of those guys being flipped for a couple prospects in return.
Regrettably, of course.
Accuracy.
Reynolds for a couple of prospects. Here's another giant trade. Max Clark. Oh, I think RSV would shit his pants. Eugenio, Pagan, Hampson, and Ferguson.
Oh, 4 for 4.
4 slots, like we mentioned before, the 4
Wow.
slots piece. This is the max trade, 8 players side. Max Clark, huge prospect going to Cincinnati. Detroit, buying Suarez, getting the bullpen piece. 2 bullpen pieces. Wow.
2 bullpen pieces, a utility player, and a power third baseman.
Look at Max Clark.
Max Clark.
Max Clark, who's batting 300, it showed there. He is the #1 Reds prospect, #7 prospect, now that the trade's been made.
All
Fans
right.
are digging this one.
Yeah, that's a banger right there.
Yeah, RSV would shit himself.
Look at these
We're getting
Orioles.
confetti.
The Orioles. Blockbuster
Come
trade.
on.
Drew Rasmussen, Gavin Lux. He was on my Ranger rebuild too.
He
This
was.
guy is, and we'll get into platoon hitting as well, but he was
Former top prospect.
He would obviously he was hitting against righties all the time for me at second base. So he's a good platoon bat for sure.
Yeah.
Dylan Beaver's going back. He's headlining Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
B prospect, already solid contact against a righty.
Dylan Beaver's no longer a prospect. He's up in the majors. I kind of like that.
Right.
Just going nuts.
Going all in.
Pirates even throwing their hat in the ring.
They're up in the majors. They shouldn't be a prospect in my opinion, but shocking. At less than a month out, it still doesn't work quite right. Dude, it's 2 weeks out. It is 2 weeks out.
2 trades here. Shocker, that's the Oreo.
Gary Sanchez and Trevor McGill.
Gary Sanchez.
And Luis Rengifo. So 3 major league players.
What a solid bullpen piece.
Yeah.
80 OVR.
They give up Zach Eflin
Saves already. 1.91 ERA.
and a top 100 prospect.
Seems to me the Brewers may have pivoted somewhat.
A little
Although
bit.
they get a serviceable starting pitcher and a top prospect.
Yes.
Very cool trade.
Can't help but notice the Marlins have cooled off a little bit. They got their
Yeah,
We're
right?
gonna check. We're gonna see where they are.
Yeah.
In
Peterson, Devin Williams. Wow. The Cubs, big buyers here.
Devin Williams.
2 bullpen, 3 arms, bro.
He's gonna miss Devin Williams this year.
3 arms for Pedro Ramirez, basically.
Oh.
You know what?
Whoa, Seager and Evaldi.
Part of my rebuild as well.
Okay, then.
Wait. And Nate Eovaldi?
Something's wrong with
Seager
this
to the
game. No,
Red
just kidding.
Sox.
All right, so Eovaldi again. He's in that walk.
Oh, boy. I mean, listen. If you're trading Seager and Evaldi, you should get all this.
Plus year, walk year +1.
Yeah.
Spores bullpen piece. Seager, I don't like to see him go, but he is 31. 6 years remaining, big contract.
6 years on a big contract.
And 2 other top 100 prospects in the game. Let's go Rangers. What a smart move. What a smart move.
So again, you see the Red Sox taking on that big contract.
And
Maybe
Brewers
a smaller
have
market
clearly
team wouldn't do
pivoted. Yeah,
that.
Brewers
Right.
have clearly pivoted. They're selling Woodruff. Walker,
Woodruff rental for 3 C's, I'm okay with.
Rotation. So some cool trades there.
I'm okay with it.
No, it's a
Trade
trade deadline.
deadline day. 3 trades here. Another.
Here comes the
another
trade.
big
Springs,
trade.
oh my god, 4 for 4.
Houston.
Springs, McNeil, Barlow, and Suero for a bunch of C's.
Pick up
Christian
Yelich.
The Mets get Yelich?
What is selling?
Getting
Big
rid of
Bowers as
everyone.
well.
See,
Yeah.
this is where I agree with Mills. Mills says that what this game is heading to is that it is going to need to have what Madden has with like player roles or player tags or something like that, because Yelich has become such a big part of the Brewers. I don't think there's any way he should be like a Milwaukee plant. And players like J Ram, who we've seen traded in this thing, he should have homegrown like superstar or something where he's just never gonna leave.
Severino to the Mets.
Severino, Savale, Leiter, a lot of arms here. A lot of arms for, well, they gave up Vientos. That's kind of big.
Bullpen piece.
Aaron Savali, White Sox legend.
Yeah.
All right.
White Sox legend.
I think I have a bigger issue with the unrealisticness of the deal itself happening than the comp. Yeah,
Sometimes,
true.
Honestly, trade deadline, I've seen up to like 10, 11 trades on
Really?
those
There's
days.
got to be a franchise player or culture setter. Yeah, I mean, that too. Team captain, something like that. You wouldn't trade your team captain in
Where do you think the
baseball.
Marlins are at?
I'm scared to look.
They've,
I'm
dropped
scared to
off.
say.
Look
You
at the
know?
Orioles with all their acquisitions. They're still
You wouldn't
in the
trade your clubhouse leader.
Pushing
Red
right.
Sox.
Red
Red Sox
Sox.
there,
Red Sox
and
up
they
there.
and they added Seager. Tim, your Yankees.
But clearly, not enough guys getting placed on untouchables, in my opinion, for their new revamped
For
trade
the
system.
Brewers, they have to be somewhere near the bottom,
Let's
given all that
let's
they've
get the
been
wild
giving
card
up.
quick here.
Orioles are doing
Orioles
quite well with all
firmly
these
in the
trades,
The Yankees as well, Astros. They were all buying.
trying to get their wins
Tigers as
in.
well, they had that one trade.
Gave up Max Clark for it.
They did, but they're
One
in the
game
mix.
back. Yeah,
they're
they're
still
right
on
there.
the hunt.
Nope.
We go with the NL, Phillies.
The Marlins are 10.5 games out after making all those early trades.
We'll take a look at the
Wow.
Cubs, solid. Look at the Pirates. What's that rookie's name?
Fan favorite, yes. As Mills said in the stream, right? And you can attest to this, JC, because you are a Guardians fan. He said that Cleveland people would burn down Progressive Field if J-Ram was traded away. Yeah, the Cardinals are bad. That's why Elmer's is like, Cardinals franchise gonna hit like crack.
All right, it's Padres, D-backs.
He's already lobbying for a Cardinals franchise, but I spent so long in the NL.
4 games back. Come on, Marlins. Still
Yeah.
You're an AL team?
500.
Yeah, Brewers made a business decision there at the deadline.
They did.
Just
All right. So we want to do a
Selling
run
everyone.
there to show you all the trades that happened up to the trade deadline. Colin, I'm going to set something up here.
go main cam.
All right,
Yeah.
perfect. But hopefully,
All right, he's gonna set something else
you
up.
like
I
those
want to go to
trades.
it.
I thought there were some very interesting trades. All right, Colin, we're ready here.
Let's hit the dev kit.
Cool. So once again, we're now single team focused.
New save
Yeah.
file.
Now, before we dig into the trade hub, let's talk pitching rotations.
All right.
Yes.
Let's talk bullpen games.
And we touched on some of this in the pre-record, but the addition of bullpen games is going to make life easier.
There
for
you
some
go,
teams,
you get
especially in
bullpen
the
game.
and stuff like that, right?
Right. So as Tim alluded to, obviously we want realism, we want modern trends, and obviously the bullpen game is one of those modern trends. Where are my notes on the bullpen game here? So the Angels, we're coming in the season. Clearly, it's deemed that they don't have a quality enough fifth starter, right? So they're right off the day they're running a bullpen.
So the game deems that they don't have a quality enough fifth starter, so they say bullpen game, and then they put Robert Stevenson as the opening pitcher there.
But you can move to the second
CPA
slot,
did that.
third slot, what have you. Stevenson is their opener. You can switch your opener at any time,
Yeah.
And bullpen games, modern game, realism. That's what we like to see. And the CPU is doing it naturally for the Angels, which is an interesting, something we didn't expect all the time. But basically, so lack of quality, that's the deal with the Angels here. Sorry, Matt on our team, big Angels fan. Sorry you don't have enough good starting pitchers. Short-term injuries, fatigue with some pitchers in the rotation. That'll trigger, the CPU to automatically do a bullpen game. Now, if you have a bullpen game, but your rotation, the pitchers can pitch, like say there's a day off and they can get regular rest, then the bullpen game will be skipped. So it's another little realistic fact in there.
So Travis, this will also be
So if you have it set for a bullpen game, but let's say Kikuchi's ready to go, he'll pitch on the 4-day rest. Flash 5-day rest if you had a day off.
for you if you
Correct.
need to, but
Correct.
you can
This is-
always step in and make your own
Right, you
decision.
can step in and make your choice. This is a CPU.
Every game would be a bullpen game. I'm interested to see
Typically, we see
how the 0 overall rebuild would go with this.
bullpen games to start. Yeah.
Yeah, I was play testing this a little bit, and it's fun.
I should have went in their chat and said, hey, can I still trade a 12 overall relief pitch Joe
And
random
some
for
chatter
3
about
great
questions
prospects?
regarding regression. We will get to regression in a little bit. Hang tight. We will answer your questions.
Regression?
Right now, we're going a little bit in bullpen logic, and we also have some new lineup logic as well, Clayton.
My ears.
I mean, you didn't mention regression. I'm happy
All right,
to
if you
talk
want to
about
go
it
into
now.
it, let's do it now.
Right in.
Okay, I think like the rest of you out there, the community, it wasn't fun having like an aging all-star who was still playing at an all-star level just literally fall off the cliff, right? So we've updated regression logic. If an aging player past his peak, if he's still playing at or above his expected level, then his regression is going to be much slower than it ever has before. So you'll see these guys, these all-stars, these top players that are still playing well. They're going to age more gracefully. They're not going to fall off a cliff. So, yeah, that's new logic that's in as well. So hopefully that answers that question.
All right, so there you go. If a great player, say of DeGrom's level, still pitching to a 3 ERA or God forbid better, he is not going to go down from a 94 overall.
Higher tier all-star caliber players.
It's kind of anybody really though, and Trey, you can touch on too.
Right, it's all players, but it's especially noticeable with the top tier players, the all-stars, and they just all of a sudden hit a certain age and then just drop way off. We don't want to see that. If they're still playing at a good level, they'll continue.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, if your peak is a C potential, B potential player, and you're playing at or above that, they'll still regress more slowly, but it's more noticeable. You know the names. You see like now maybe you'll see Chris Sale fall off a cliff.
Whoa.
Well, that's the thing I was talking about earlier, JC, is that in baseball, more than a lot of other sports, being that it's not as physically demanding as any of the other 3 major sports in America, these guys can play for a really long time. We've got 40-year-olds hitting the baseball. We always have. I mean,
Don't disrespect my king.
Nelson Cruz was hitting jacks at 42 years old.
Like that.
Fair.
But understandable point taken.
What I would like to see is guys' physicals go down and them have to turn into DHs rather than their hitting go down. That doesn't make any sense. A professional hitter stays a professional hitter for a really long time.
Protect him, right? So if he's playing at an all-star level, much more graceful, he'll go off into the sunset with a beautiful end.
It just won't end like that, yeah.
There we go.
Exactly.
Very cool.
Yes.
Now, since we have the rotation screen, the bullpen here, there is new bullpen logic. I think Tim touched on it, but let's dig into it a bit more. The new logic, it basically looks to pitch relievers who have not pitched in a while. Like a lot of times.
Oh, so they pitch relievers who haven't pitched in a while, which was greatly needed in this game, by the way.
4 days. They're going to throw them out there for an inning and get some work in, right? Otherwise, there's too much rust. They want to give them some action, give them even like a half inning, even a game where it's not a save situation, right? So that logic's in there. We look at pitcher usage over like the previous 10 days, pitches thrown, how much energy. The logic is much more in tune to like high leverage situations, so like setup men, closers. Typically they'll come in more high leverage situations, and doesn't have to be like 7th or 8th inning. Depends on the situation of the game. Stutter McGee over here.
Good. But that's something we are seeing in real life Major League Baseball is your closer isn't always coming in the 9th inning. It's what I up.
Exactly. Tim touched on it. Best hitters will be batting 1, 2, 3. Typically
best hitters 1, 2, 3.
Your best hitters in the 2-hole, and then typically you get the power guy 3, 4, and so on and so forth. And we try and obviously get some splits and handedness. We don't want to stack a lineup all righties or all lefties. So we try to, there's logic.
Splits and handedness. Yep, I see that.
Get some.
Nobody going 5 righties in a row, 5 lefties in a row.
There are hitters now, some righties can crush righties, some lefties can crush lefties. So it depends on their attributes and, again, performance. So lineup logic as well, modern trends like we've been talking about. And then the lineups are dynamic, right? So it's performance-based. It's about attribute progression and regression. And then it's roster composition. You make trades. You call guys up, send guys down. There's going to be some shuffling of the lineup, and it's going to try to optimize
lineup shuffling. Sounds good.
Defense and secondary positions matter. Like we touched on before, secondary positions are a big thing with lineups now. We're not just looking at primary positions. The best players will play if they can fit in the lineup. And then someone may have a slightly better bat, but if they're significantly better defensively, they're going to go in because it's even more advantageous, than a slightly better bat. Someone that can
it should be applied to the minors too.
They're going to get in the lineup.
Yeah.
CPU lineups will be optimized. They're no longer just subbing in a player. Those lineups will be optimized. And then to start a season, it's basically, we have like 3-year weighted war, and the weighted stats will go into it. We kind of leverage team needs, so it's about, attributes, weighted stats, performance. And so that's everything that goes into lineups.
Yeah, so as
all right, show me something.
As a user, you probably
edition for early access, but we wanted to end this stream talking about Streamlined franchise. Travis,
here's the Streamlined franchise, which is probably something I'll never use.
Like Glenn talked about their pillars. We want, more accessible, easier onboarding. It's franchise can be difficult to manage. It's a beast. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of levers to pull. Can be overwhelming at times. So we wanted to have like a simplified experience to default you to more manageable day-to-day pieces. It's a very tailored experience, and it kind of guides you into that experience. And it's it's more of that onboarding experience as well.
So it makes it less daunting for, we know that we have our fans that love getting into the weeds with their franchise. This is for the more casual franchise fan.
Correct.
No, guys, I'm going to interrupt because we're not ready to go Streamlined yet.
Oh.
We still have to do Trade Hub. We got to dig in a bunch of stuff here with my Rangers.
That's right.
All right, let's do it.
Then
Let's do
we'll
it
get
right
back
now.
into
That's
Streamlined.
okay. We're getting a little long over here. Just want to make sure we're
Travi a
covering.
curveball there.
Yeah.
Travi's like, where's my visual? All right, so we're going to dig in here. I skimmed a little bit ahead, but I want to get into the Trade Hub. Let's get into all the pieces of it. Right away.
He wants to get into the Trade Hub, which I'm more excited about than Streamlined. That's for damn sure.
Bidding wars for closing pitchers, but there's an abundance of starting pitchers, right? So could be bargains for starting pitchers. We give you a little guidance down there. If you're not getting any pending offers, load up your trade block. I'm Texas, so my Texas trade block, and then fill out my trade targets and fill positions. Right. Rumors. Again, we mentioned fog of war. Some of these are real, some of these are not. Just like
some of them are real and some of them are not. That's where the fog of war comes in. That's actually cool.
What's true and what's
White
not?
Sox could use an upgrade. Well, that's
Listen.
that goes without saying that any position. But anyway,
got to decipher the real ones.
Yeah.
From
So we're digging.
The White Sox do suck.
We're gonna load up the trade block here. All right. So who should we put on the block, guys? I'm putting Nimmo.
Yeah.
I'm putting Garcia.
So the Giants are still interested in Nimmo?
I'm not putting Seager, but I'll put DeGrom.
Wow.
We'll see if someone still tries to get Seager. I'm putting Berger. Spores.
Also White Sox legend.
Josh Smith. I like Josh Smith. Very versatile, but I'll put him on the block.
Yeah. How many players can you put on the block?
With 20 players on the block.
20 players on the block.
Zeke.
If you're looking to clean house.
I was about to say.
Load it up.
Plenty.
You have the opportunity.
As you can see here, Sebastian Walkett's already untouchable, so I can't put him on the block. Well, I could change it, but I'm going to leave him off there for now.
Put him as untouchable. I'm going to do that to a lot of players right off rip.
Here, untouchables. Clearly we have some untouchables set here. I'm going to say Gutierrez for me. I would like to remove him as an untouchable. Kumar, I like you, but we're going to dangle you as well. Actually, let's dangle Kumar. Where is he?
Good question in the chat. How do you make a player untouchable?
You go over to untouchables, go into your list, and select any player you want to make untouchable.
We got about 5 more minutes here, so we're going to try to get some trades out so everyone can see what it looks like.
We're going to set up some positions. Positions will drive. You're basically telling the other GMs in the league, these are the positions I'm looking for.
Available.
Yeah. I think you guys know how that works.
Helps the trade interactions with the CPU. They know what you're looking for.
Okay, that's important.
One question I've seen come up is what is the stuff in the attributes?
Yeah, stuff. That's
Travi, let's take that.
That's more of a gameplay question.
Let's jump in.
We're not covering draft and scouting. That stuff's all returning from last year, right?
Yeah.
So stuff kind of it's for pitchers. It goes into hits per 9, Ks per 9, homers per 9.
I think this guy might have a little ADD.
Basically, it's the kind of the
their
quality
attributes.
of
Yeah.
He's like, I want to show the trade block of my Rangers, and then
Feature Premiere was the first one that
he's
kicked
going
off
over
with,
player
and it's still
cards.
available on YouTube
Come
right
on,
now,
man.
Sony San Diego Studio.
Check it out.
Now, one thing I like to do, you can set trade targets up here. You can click in and look around the league, and you can kind of set anybody's trade target. Gunnar Henderson
locked.
is an untouchable.
Yes.
Nobody else, though.
Go to the MLB trade block and look around the league. See who
All right, I think they need to expand their untouchables then. They need more.
Okert's tempting me, and I can select him, and I can add Steven Okert as a target from here as well. So there's two ways to add trade targets. I'm gonna add Okert on there. What kind of relievers? Jimenez. Sure. We'll add Joe Jimenez.
So you can add him right from the block.
I need a big bat. Oh, I like Casas actually. He was part of my rebuilds back in the day as well.
Get him back. There we go.
He's a
Can
target.
look around.
And I like Alec Baum. We'll put him on there as well.
Perfect.
So there you go. My trade target's been filled up, and I did that through the MLB trade blocks down there.
So you can only have 4 trade targets,
We're
huh?
trying to make the user experience easier, better. You can do it from here. You can do it from here. You can do it from the main trade hub. Yeah.
Lots of options for our fans.
Wish you could have more.
So let's sim a little bit. Again, we're early. It's April, so
It's gonna
might
take a
not
little
be a
bit.
ton of trade action here. I got an offer already.
All right.
Luke Ray.
Luke Raley for Josh Smith.
Raley. I set first base as a positional need. Not sure he's an upgrade over my boy Jake Berger, but
I
it's nice
appreciate
to see
the
the
Jake Berger
offers coming.
appreciation.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
All right.
White Sox. All right. I'm gonna keep Josh Smith here.
All right.
But if you go to your trade hub, I have a received offer. I can accept, I can counter, I can decline. I'm gonna decline this one though.
Yeah.
All right.
Just let him know.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want him.
Has to be better.
I'll be polite. I don't want to lingering around in there. And I'll go back in a second here. See if I want to.
Trying to see how this stuff works in action.
As we're simming, I do want to. Some people are asking about March to October. Streamlined franchise is essentially going to be your way of having an MTO like feature in the game. It's going to be a little less of a in the weeds as your normal franchise.
So there is no
It'll be
March to
completely customizable.
MTO
You'll
confirmed.
pick when you want
There
to
you go,
do
RSV.
things. Anything else you want to add there, Travis?
Confirmed.
Like you said, it's completely customizable. Like you can pick the number of games you want to enter. You can pick the situational importance. You can pick player highlight
No
moments,
March
stuff
to
like that.
October. It is Streamlined franchise is the best you're
It's
going
like
to
a
get.
customizable version, correct? And that's within franchise this year. So when you boot up franchise, you'll have a choice to go full franchise or streamlined and kind of go from there.
Now, this is tough because we have only a certain amount of time.
They
now.
did,
I'd
JC.
like to
They
dig
did.
into the weeds here deep.
Which means that MTO can no longer be connected to DD.
Alcantara
Sandy.
for Jason.
So we're still
Alcantara.
getting the blockbuster
Yeah,
notifications.
even
Bender
though
and
we're
Nardi.
Blockbuster.
That's Dan's boy, Nardi. Dan's boy, Nardi.
Another Blockbuster. Cut across
Couple more
for
trades.
Alcantara.
Garrett Whitlock.
Oh,
Chapman.
Chapman.
Going back to the Cubs.
Chapman for
I don't like
Journey
B
man.
potential.
what's going on over here, you know?
There we go.
there it
Oh
is.
my.
Not this
That's why I
one.
put Kumar on the
This is the
block.
one at the end that caused the stir.
Wow, 5 years.
This is offered by the computer, which means you give us Kumar Rocker, a 26-year-old starting pitcher with B potential, and we give you Pete Alonso, a guy we just signed for 5 years. Yeah, the Orioles would have to be in a real bad way to be offering that.
31 million.
Big contract he just signed.
All right, we got 2 minutes. 2 minutes, right?
Yes.
Couple minutes.
Okay. Well, all right. So we mentioned that March, October is not coming back. We talked about Streamlined a little bit. If you get us a minute, we'll set something up and come in through Streamlined if that's okay. Colin, is that cool?
Yes, fine.
Let's do it.
And then we'll touch on Streamline and March, October. One more second here. I just want to set some stuff.
So as you've been watching along with all of us, new trade logic built from the ground up, new bullpen logic, lineup logic. We're going to talk about Streamlined franchise in just a little bit, which is going to give you that March to October-like experience within franchise itself. And then before then, you'll have a chance to get your hands on the game in just a couple of weeks.
2 weeks for early access.
Yes.
2
So
weeks.
we're going to come into Streamline.
2 weeks.
Obviously, you have the option to take full control, go to Streamline. We'll go Streamlined. You can only control one team in Streamline, and it's
Pick 'em.
Oh, is this the new
Streamline-
franchise picking screen? This looks fucking cool as shit with the hat.
It gives you.
I
it's
like
an
this.
like experience, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, we default you to, and we'll show you in here. We default your CGE settings, your custom game entry settings, so that you can customize it, but we default it to something that'll give you an experience similar to March, October. We set up your tasks.
Somebody literally just asked a question about tasks in the chat.
Yeah.
It's a great time.
So you have task scouting, trades, and free agency. Those are set to manual through Streamlined.
You can flip it to full control, it looks like, if you want.
Right. The only difference here is you can customize it. So it's almost like it's March, October, but it's a level of customization that's beyond March, October. So, and we felt, you know, we had some of our resources were dealing with March, October. Some of our resources were dealing with franchise. Now we can focus all of our resources on the franchise and still give you an experience very similar to March, October.
There you go.
Another way that's accessible for the
There you
user that's a bit
go.
more casual.
They took the resources being spent on March to October and added it to franchise. So now the team is bigger.
So Streamlined, it looks
for
a little different
franchise.
than what MTO fans might expect, but it is customizable.
Franchise won, ladies and gentlemen. Franchise beat March to October.
You know, Streamlined to full control. So you come in, it's accessible. You're happy playing.
What we want to hear.
Dig a little deeper in some of these other things. You switch over one button. Switch over.
You can switch it right over to full control whenever you feel like it.
To different settings instead of automatic. So again, and switch back to Streamlined whenever you want, and those things are locked, and you have manual free agency trades just like in March, October.
There we go. Before we let you all go, anything else you'd like to tell our fans?
Wow, there's a few more fan requests. We've increased the fog of war in scouting. There was also someone online found a way to, they knew exactly who a generational talent was. We found that, I mean,
that's impressive, actually.
Yeah. The time and dedication it took to figure that out was impressive, but we shut the door on that. So sorry about
I gotta hear that again. That was actually really good. All right.
Trades just like in March, October.
There we go. Before we let you all go, anything else you'd like to tell our fans?
All right.
Wow, there's a few more fan requests.
Fan requests.
We've increased the fog of war in scouting.
Increase the fog of war in scouting.
Line found a way to, they knew exactly who a generational talent was.
I think that guy's name might be Scrawny Slugger. I'm just kidding. He said there was a guy that knew exactly who a generational talent was, and they squashed that. That's what he said.
Found that, I mean,
that's impressive, actually.
The time and dedication it took to figure that out was impressive, but we shut the door on that. So
shut the door on that.
All your effort. We talked about regression. We have new DFA logic. You can't just kick an aging veteran to the curb anymore. There's new DFA logic in there.
New DFA logic.
Updated trade values for star players and prospects. Do you want to hit on the depth?
No. Oh, I'm on the wrong page.
That's okay. We moved pitcher energy so you can see it on the rotation screen now. It's nice to know how fresh or not your starter is.
For sure.
We split up.
Pitcher energy on the rotation screen is different. I didn't realize that at the time looking at the screen, but yes, that is different, and that's cool.
So there's its own option now. If you like dealing with arbitration but hated dealing with renewables, you can now have different options for each.
Right.
Exactly.
There you go. Look at that. I think that's for Hobie right there.
Is
for sure.
We split up, as you can see down here. We split up arbitration and renewables, so there's its own option now. If you
split up arbitration and renewables.
Dealing with renewables, you can now have different options for each.
Right.
Exactly.
If you didn't like dealing with renewables,
logic selection,
you don't have to deal with them.
I should say. And then we have rosters that are more dedicated to franchise, right? So they should be set up better when it comes to positions, attributes, and
now he didn't say that they had an auto all, but he did say if you didn't want to deal with them, you don't have to deal with them. So I'm assuming that means that because they split up arbitration and renewables, that means that it's in the list of picking manual or CPU doing it. So I think you can let the CPU do it.
Work better with the franchise ecosystem as a whole. So that and more, but we don't have enough time.
We're at time. Thank you so much, Clayton and Travis, for joining us.
That's bullshit to me.
Franchise stuff in MLB 26.
And thank you, fans, for sticking with us. This was our 4th feature premiere. We're again just 2 weeks away from early access. You'll be able to hear about all things.
See, to me, that's BS.
And then all things live content.
That and more, but we don't have enough time. What do you mean you don't have enough time? Because you're only willing to sit here for an hour and 12 minutes?
Pre-orders are open right now. If you liked what you saw, you can go check it out. Any digital deluxe edition owners from 21 will get a 10% discount if they purchase.
And remember, early access 2 weeks from today with the purchase of a digital deluxe edition. And with that edition, you'll have not one, but 2 World Baseball Classic packs. So you'll immediately start your DD journey with 2 WBC players.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk more about that in a little bit. But standard launch day will be on March 17th, St. Patty's Day. We're very excited for it. Sign up for the scouting.
There you go.
If you need any news on.
There you go. Honestly, my takeaway is that I can already see that the trade logic system is still not perfect, and it's what they put all their time into. I'm still anxious to see what changes with that hub is going to do, because honestly, I don't know how much I can really use it. We'll see. But we'll see. It should be... I'm still excited for the game. I'm always excited for the show. It's still my favorite franchise mode in all of sports gaming. So, we'll see. We will be playing it a lot here on Twitch and on YouTube. Please stick around for it.